Hello. Welcome to another GloBUNTU Books book launch. Today is a fantastic day. We are launching the book of our November Young Author. We got 3 of them, but today we are presenting one to you. And you're going to meet her. She is an amazing young lady. She's talking about financial planning and a little bit more and much more. So my name is Ankreta Beatrice Achaleke. I am the serial author of the Africa for Smart Kids book series and the publisher of GloBUNTU Books. It is my honor, it is my pleasure to welcome our young author, Ali Zuri. Chikosi, sometimes I have difficulty pronouncing these names, but hey, it doesn't change the fact that they are my young authors. And I'm going to invite her online with her family, and we're going to be talking about her book. The title, she will tell us the title. And there she is, all the way from Cape Town. Hello, Ali. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well. Oh, and your dad is sitting just next to you and having your book. Hello, Daddy. How are you today?
Hi, I'm fine, and you?
I am very well. So it's a pleasure to have the two of you on screen, specifically because we are launching your book today, Ali. So how do you feel?
A little bit nervous, but also excited.
Yes, being nervous, it's very normal. It's very normal. So I see we got 3 people watching us on Facebook right now. We want to welcome you. We want to greet you. Bring your family, bring your friends. This is going to be a fantastic book launch of our young author. And please, if you're watching us online, remember that you can always communicate with us. You can text your messages, especially if you're watching from the GloBUNTU Books page. We will see your comments from there. So please do feel free to send your comments, ask questions, engage in our young author, and be part of the conversation as we launch this book today. So I see Ali's mom has just joined us. Hello, Mommy. How are you doing? The mom of the young author.
How are you?
Please unmute your microphone. We can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello. Welcome.
What? Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon to you. So we are launching Ali's book, Your Daughter, Your Second Daughter. We're launching her book today. And again, if you're joining us on YouTube, you're joining us on LinkedIn, you're joining us on Facebook, please, you are invited to join the conversation. All you need to do is text your comments. I'll pick up your comments and I will share it with my studio guest and we will answer all the questions. If you have anything to do with financial planning, whatever, this is the topic today. So at GloBUNTU Books, we believe that every Black child can and should write a book. And that's what we focus on. And one of the results of that belief is the book that we're launching today. So Ali, can you quickly introduce yourself? Who are you? Who is Ali Zuri?
Hello, my name is Ali Zuri Chikosi. I am 13 years old. I published the book.
Come to the screen, please. Let's see you. We're seeing just half of your face. Excellent.
Hello, my name is Ali Zuri Chikosi. I'm 13 years old. I wrote the book, Not Being Authentic Can Be Costly. Yeah, that's about it.
You know what? When kids write books, it's a family affair. So I see your family, I see your kid sister. We're not going to say much about her because she's going to have her space as well. So, but we will focus on you today, Ali. Tell me, what is the title of your book again?
Not Being Authentic Can Be Costly.
Why did you choose that title? What does it? Why?
Well, I felt like it related to the story because the story is about a young man, and he comes from a rural KZN, and then he goes to Cape Town, and then he's not really being authentic to himself. He gets caught up in a flashy lifestyle, and then he splurges his money and ends up in bad financial situations. So I felt like he wasn't being authentic to himself, and that's why he landed up in that position. But when you read the book, I hope that people can find their own opinion on why he ended up the way he ended up in the situation that he ended up in.
Beautiful. And those of you watching us, you may be wondering, this young lady is just 13 and she knows about financial planning and she is advising university students, because your main character in the book is a university graduate, right?
Yes.
So where does that knowledge come from?
When my dad has a motto, and it says, "A day spent without learning is a day wasted." And he would always make us sure that we have read at least 20 pages of a book a day. And a lot of the times he made us read financial books, and that's where my love for finances grew, and that's how I started learning about finances.
Okay, I see your dad is sitting next to you. So, Dad, can we see you now? Can we see you? I mean, financial planning is something that some of us adults, we don't even master it. You know, we mess up our finances, we find ourselves in terrible situations. But then you are teaching your kids at a very young age about financial planning, and you get them to read how many pages of a book per day? Is that punishment?
No, it's it's a way of life. It's a way of life because they also see me reading. So I encourage them to read, and we make it fun. It's a family affair, and just like other people watching TV every day and effortlessly, for us reading it's a way of life.
That is extremely interesting, and I commend you very much for that. When I was asking, is it punishment? Is because I think in some household, reading a book every day would sound like that, but in your household, not reading a book every day would be like punishment. Am I right?
That's correct. But for us, it's all about having fun. We have storytelling sessions, and we just enjoy talking to each other. So other people prefer to have TV ministering the whole day. For us, it's all about listening to each other, talking to each other. By so doing, we're building a family, and we're passing knowledge to our children, and also learning from them.
Absolutely. There's so much we can learn from our kids if we
Yeah.
allowed ourselves to listen and to learn. So those of you parents who are out there, if you're listening, these are already nuggets that you can take along. Getting your children to read every day, and not just reading children's books, reading financial books. I mean, at what age? At what age? Let me go to Ali's mom. Hello, mom. At what age did you allow your children to start reading financial books?
Mommy.
Oh, she seems to still be busy. So let me go back to that. Dad Chikosi, at what age did you get them to start reading financial books?
We started. They were very young. I think maybe we started something like she was maybe 8. Yeah, 8 years old. But with us, the way we do it, if I find anything of interest, I bring it to their attention. Whether it's a newspaper article, like for example, finances, we used to read from one, the newspaper has got a financial education column. So I'll read it and also discuss it with them. Sometimes when they became when they were able to read by themselves, I will give it to them and ask them to read, and then we discuss it amongst ourselves. So it has always been that when I find something that is educational, I will always bring it to them.
Oh, that's really awesome. Now let's get back. No, who is on the screen? I can see Ali. I can see Nana and Shimangi. We're launching your books in course of the week. Now I would like to go back to Ali. So Ali, what was the first financial book that you read? What was the first book on finance? Or the newspaper? How did you feel the first time that you had to read something on finances, so to say?
Well, I thought it was kind of complicated, and I found it boring at first. But then the more that I read it, the more that I understood it, it became like more of an interesting type of thing instead of a boring, you had to do this type of thing.
I see. So your book, let's go back to your book. The title is Not Being Authentic Can Be Costly. So I want to remind you that book is available. It is available right now. We have limited copies printed for Christmas. If you want to read that book, and I think that book is definitely not just for kids, but also for adults and families and educators, anyone who is interested in financial planning, that book is for you. You can get it straight from Alizuri's parents in Cape Town. On their Facebook page, you can find them, but you can also find it on globuntubooks.com, www.globuntubooks.com, in our brand new shop. So, Ali, let's talk some more about your book. So, for whom did you write your book? For whom is your book?
Oh, I remember when I was writing the book, my mom and dad were constantly asking me, oh, what is your target when you're busy writing the book? And I could never decide, because I felt like when I was writing my book, I wasn't writing it for teenagers. I wasn't writing it for only college students. Neither was I only writing it for the older people of our generation. I was writing it for anybody who wishes to learn, because I think that anybody can pick up a lesson from that book. So it doesn't really have a target. I think the target is anybody who can pick up a book and read and enjoy it.
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
learn from it.
That's beautiful. So those of you who are joining us on live stream, we greet you, we acknowledge you, we celebrate you, and we invite you to join the conversation. So let me go to Ali's mom. Mama, how does it feel to be the mom of a GloBUNTU Young Author?
Hi everyone, Tembile here, Chikosi, and the mother of the author in the studio, and two other daughters. And I am just overwhelmed with feelings of joy, and I'm so grateful to all the people that played a role in her development, her upbringing, and especially to you, Sis Beatrice, for all the encouragement and the love and the support and the technical expertise that you've so generously given to Ali Zuri through her journey in becoming an author. And as a family, we are just so grateful for all the love and the support from our friends and family and colleagues. Everyone has just been so supportive. And I just want to say, I do not take you for granted. I am so, so grateful. And I wish God blesses you all and gives you all the wishes and the desires of your hearts. My family is just grateful. I don't have the words to explain how grateful we are, and the amount of support that has been streaming in. It's easy to just start developing these big shoulders and think that you are the greatest out there. We wouldn't be able to do this without the love and support from those around us. And I just want to say to all the mothers out there that it's possible. With love and support, children can be their greatest. And this is the testament to the support and the love that these children have been receiving. But you know, there's an African proverb: it takes a village to raise a child. I saw that whether it's my family or my friends or the teachers, the homeschooling buddies, the other parents that we're homeschooling together with, it's been just an interesting and a fun journey for me. And the kids, they love it. So when we went into this journey of starting to write, when the kids joined the GloBUNTU Masterclass for Young Authors, we just embraced it, and the children embraced it. And the nice thing about children is when you tell them they can, they believe you, and they really can. And Auntie Beatrice kept saying, "You are the greatest author. You are the young upcoming author." And that became our home mantra. Wherever we call the kids, where are the young upcoming authors? And the children actually believed it, and they took it seriously. Because when you tell me that, Sebile, you're gonna fly to the moon, I'm like, yeah, right. That's what adults do. But with children, when you tell them, Alizuri, you can fly a plane, they're like, yeah, which button must I press first? And they start pressing buttons. So for me, it's a shame that as adults, we don't give the children we don't trust the children enough that they can do what they're capable of doing. And my husband and I believe that the kids, whether our kids or anyone else's kids, they can be anything. And I honestly and truly believe that with love and support, any children can anything that they want to be.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's an honor for GloBUNTU Books to have been given the trust, for you to have trusted your children into our hands. I remember we met online in August, right? In August, and in a homeschooling conference. And I mentioned the Young Writers Masterclass, and you immediately grabbed it. And before I knew, you sent in your 3 daughters, and within 6 weeks, we came out with Young Authors. So what I'm trying to say is that it takes parents who understand, who see the vision, who are supportive, and who are willing to invest time and resources, because publishing a book does cost money. It costs a lot of money. So getting into a GloBUNTU Masterclass does cost some investment. So I want to commend you as parents for taking the lead. And I know that your children are aware of this investment, and I can see in their writing, I can see in their acknowledgement. And at GloBUNTU Books, again, we believe that every Black child can and should. And we put in all the expertise, the enthusiasm, the experiences that we have in order to bring them out. And when we see them come out with their books, Ali, when you received your book, how did you feel that moment when you've been believing that you're a young upcoming author? You've been in the master class, you've written and submitted your manuscript, we have designed it, we've been talking, and all of a sudden the book is printed and delivered. How did you feel in that moment?
I feel like it was like almost seeing like a mythical creature or something, like a unicorn, because I was like, I knew that, oh yeah, I've been writing a book, and yeah, at some point it was going to be printed, and at some point I was going to be able to hold it in my hand. But when I actually saw the book arrive at our doorstep, I was like, oh wow, this is real. It's not just me tucking behind at night or whenever I get the chance to write down. It's an actual book. Wow, that was a very surreal moment. Yeah, definitely.
And from now onwards, you are an upcoming author. You are no longer an upcoming author. You are a GloBUNTU Books Young Author, and that's a title that no one can ever take away from you. So I am extremely happy for you. And I see someone on Facebook. Someone says, "Hi, Ali Zuli. So wise." This is Chiwawi. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce your name properly. You'll pardon me. But he or she says, "You are so wise." And I can only say, oh, yes, she's so wise. Now, Ali, let's talk a little bit about your book. I see Mom is displaying the book on screen. I will second you. This is the book. So again, we are recommending this book. This is a book that you really have to read. And because it gives you a whole lot when you take into consideration the fact that our young author is just 13 years old, and she's so knowledgeable. She's sharing content with us. That is not just for children, but for adults. It's a perfect read at Christmas. When you finish, spend all your money buying Christmas gift, you want to sit down before you get into the new year and learn how to be authentic and to plan your finances. And the best way to do that is to grab a copy of Ali's book. You can get it all the way from her parents. You can get it straight from her parents, or you can go to our website, www.globuntubooks.com. We would love to serve you. So, Ali,
Yes.
what kind of financial advice will you give to children or even adults who are struggling with their finances, or who are living a not authentic life that is getting them into financial difficulties?
I mean, I feel like when you talk about like finances and stuff like that, when it comes to seeking help, I feel like it's also like emotions too. Because yeah, of course, sometimes you can handle your emotions by yourself. If you get angry one day, you can handle it and quickly fix it up. And the next day you'll be good to go. But sometimes you get angry or you get sad for a really, really, really long time. And you need to talk to somebody about it, or seek either somebody who knows about emotions, somebody you could confide in, or somebody who's professional in dealing with emotions. The same goes for finances. If you accidentally splurge on buying a chocolate today, it doesn't mean that you're a horrible person with dealing your finances and you're definitely going to go broke within 2 months. No, but like sometimes you can really tell that, oh yeah, you know what, this is really affecting my quality of living. I should probably go talk to somebody. And it doesn't only have to be a bank. It could literally just be somebody in your family who yeah, this one, they know a little thing or two about finances. So my advice would be to seek help when you know that you need it. when you feel like
Are
you
you
need
13 or 31? Seriously, you must become a financial consultant, young lady. We must work on that. That's the profile that comes with publishing this book, because I think you can really, really advise people. You can give people lots of advice because you seem to have it all. And not just do you have it all, you write it and you speak it. So, and I see people on Facebook, Tepiso Maklangosi. Okay, this comes from Nonzaba. Again, apologies for bad name pronunciations. So they say, I can't wait to get my copy. Please make sure you get your copy because we just got limited copies. Who knows whether we're going to print? So you must make sure that you grab your copy as quickly as possible. Contact the family and you get your copy. So I see my other GloBUNTU mom, Grace, is here to support you. This is the family that has been holding the record. We have to talk about the records of having how many young authors do we have in the family. Grace, we see you. She says, baby girl, congratulations. So we are very grateful for those who are joining us on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're sending comments, we see comments on the GloBUNTU Books page on Facebook, and we can take your comments right here. If you have any questions about financial planning, if you have any questions to our young author or her parents, please feel free to text us, put it on the comment, and I'll pick it up, and then we will answer your question. Now, let me still engage. This my young author is so knowledgeable that I can't stop not engaging her in the conversation. So, again, I will ask the question: where did you get your knowledge from? I know you've been reading books. I know also that you're homeschooled. Is this kind of knowledge and wisdom part of your homeschooling program?
Well, the homeschooling program doesn't have a set amount of things that we have to follow and have to learn about. From us, homeschooling isn't just about, okay, so the curriculum is we are learning finances, English, and Afrikaans today. No, it's more about learning from everyday things in each and every single day. Like you can learn from everything and anywhere. That's why my dad's motto is, a day without learning is a day wasted. A lot of the time you would think, oh yeah, I have to learn about like the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. But no, you could just learn a new word, strengthen your vocabulary, or you could just learn a fun fact about books, or you could just learn about a little bit about history. You can learn from each and every single thing in your house. You could learn about a new inventor and stuff like that. So homeschooling, the finances, yeah, it's definitely part of the curriculum, but everything's part of the curriculum because we learn from everything.
Okay, so I'll take you back to the why question. Why did you write this book? Why?
I wrote it because when I first got the opportunity to write a book, I was very unsure of it. And I was like, oh no, what shall I write about? I'm so scared, like people are going to be judging my book. But then I thought, why don't I write a book in something that I feel a little bit more comfortable in, but I think a lot of people would resonate with too. So I chose finances because it's a little bit more, it's more of a comfort zone for me. And I feel like a little bit more people would be able to resonate with having to deal with money, because at some point we're all going to have to deal with it.
Adult out there, did you hear that? Her comfort zone is talking about finances. Where did we go wrong? We adults. She's 14 and her comfort zone is talking about finances. Wow. You know, when we got into the master class and you told me what you were writing about, I wasn't expecting this kind of a story. You know, I thought you were going to write, you know, just something fantasy and something like that. But when it came out the way it was, I was like, whoa, this young lady is really reflected. You know, she knows what she's talking about. And the good thing about your book is that you're not talking facts. You put it in a story that is relatable. You made your main character go through situations because of the choices that he made. And that is something that really makes people relatable. And that's the reason why this book is a must read for anyone, you know, kids and adults. It's a must read. It's a Christmas read. It's a New Year read. It's a birthday read. It's a book that you should offer to anyone that you love, you know, your friends and family. It's really, really recommendable. Let me go to your mom. Mom, who manages your finances? She seems to be frozen.
I know, I'm still here. I'm just
Okay.
really still.
When you hear your daughter speak, what goes on in your mind? And attached to that is, who manages your finances?
Well, I can tell you now, she is going to manage my finances soon. And it's just so impressive. And she's actually, I just want to share that, I don't know if Daddy will allow me to share, but she holds the budget for the bread buying because she's the most reliable when it comes to handling money. So Daddy looked around and is like, I'll give bread money to Ali. So when then it extends, and then anything else like veggies and whatever. When you send it to the shop, she will go and buy what you send it to buy and come back. She will not like see other things and then start buying all kinds, because she's very like mindful. Coming back to the question of who manages my money, that's an interesting one. I think there's a
please,
tool
you don't need to give me the details. I was just trying to let you know that you have a financial manager already in your house.
Okay, I got that part. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be official after this.
So I see Dad is sitting right there. So can Dad come to the screen? Dad, I have a question for you.
Oh, yes.
And please, those of you joining us, as we see you, we acknowledge you again, and we encourage you to join the conversation. Take the chance to ask the questions to our young author, to her parents. This is a unique book launch right here. I know we will be having a couple of other book launches, but this virtual book launch is just going to be one. And you have a unique opportunity to engage with either our young author, Ali, or her parents. And the best way to do that is to use the chat forum and just text us. If you text from somewhere else, I may not be able to see you, but if you text from the GloBUNTU Books Facebook page, I'll see your comments right here and take it straight to the studio. So Dad, I know you are the king in the house. You have 4 queens, right? You have 3 young queens and the mother queen. No,
Yes.
3 young queens and the mother queen. And so you are a very lucky person. And I know each one of your queens has something special. Ali specializes in finances. So does that come from you, or does it come from her mom?
No, I think it's a combined effort, effort from both of us. I am more involved in the running. I'm leading the home education program, and the mom is supporting. And so whenever we see something that is beneficial for our kids, we always go for it. For example, how we met you through the Liberated Mind workshop. We saw it on Facebook, and we saw that this is an opportunity we can't miss. Then we went for it, and voila, we met you.
6 weeks after, you birthed 3 young authors. Congratulations.
Thank you. I wanted to share something, or still on finances.
Yes.
Yes. Ali is very knowledgeable on finances, and at times she also surprises me. This year, I think 3 months ago, I bought a car, and I came proudly announcing to the family that I bought a car, which we'll be using for it's a new addition to the family car assets. And she asked me a question, whether the car is financed or we bought it cash. And
wow.
I answered. And she told me that if you're buying it on finance, by the end of the term of the vehicle, you would have bought 2.5 vehicles. So the amount you have paid, if you just pay minimal, you would have paid, the amount you have paid would be enough to buy 2.5 cars. And that made me to think, because a lot of us, we easily go into debt, and we are not aware of the cost of the debt. So I think she can explain more, because I think she's more knowledgeable than me on these topics.
I certainly will go there, but listen, normally every normal child, when a car is bought, they are happy that they have a new car. You parents out there, how many of your children ask you the question whether your car is fully paid or you're buying it on a loan? Be honest, raise your hands. I mean, this girl is just out of this world.
And also, to speak, I just want to add there on that exact same point. When I grew up, it would be so taboo to ask my mother or my dad that question. In fact, I would get a hiding of my life. Like, how dare you ask me about money? So I just want to say to parents all over the country and all over the world, if they're watching, it's okay to talk to your children about money. Even if you're struggling, even if you're rich, even if you're middle class, talk to them about money. Because I believe that I would have been much better at money had my mother talked to me about money. That, money is hard to come by, or money is easy, or money you have to. We just don't talk about money, especially as Africans. I wouldn't talk about other races because I've never been into their households. But I find that it's so taboo that money topic at home is avoided at all costs. Probably because it's a painful subject for most people. Even for me, it's a painful subject because if I can't meet my bills on that month, it's uncomfortable to speak about it. But find a time when you are more emotionally stable to be able to bring up the topic. Probably not closer to month end or around the 5th when the money runs out. So, but the point is, find time when you are okay, but find the time. And I find that because we've been involving the children, even in a family budgeting, especially for groceries and stuff, they know that if peanut butter is finished, it's finished. Because, we get one source of income, which is a salary or a business. So if money gets finished at the end of in the middle of the month, we are not able to buy more things. So they have to handle whatever we have in the house with respect. So but instead of saying, you guys are finishing all the peanut butter and it's only the 10th, that's how I used to be treated whenever something got finished. So my point is, I know I digress, but speak to them about money. You will thank me one day, because then one day they'll be more understanding, even when you tell them, I can only do XYZ this month, I can't do the other stuff.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I can only agree. A couple of years ago, I had a very tough financial situation, still in it, and I had to be very transparent with my kids. It was some friends were like, "You can't say that to the child. You can't." But I agree with you that when you speak with them, not only do you prepare them for their own lives, if that happens sometimes along the way, but it also opened doors for them and allowed them to know the importance of money. Money plays a very important role in our life, and making money, the devil doesn't help us. We got to know how to manage it because without it, there's no life. So I see on Facebook, Ali, I'm coming to you. On Facebook, Chiwawi says she was originally going to write about God and goodness. Aha. Okay. And Grace says, your book will be in my bookshelves. I am doing a collection of young GloBUNTU authors' books. And that is very true. This is a mom who believes in all these GloBUNTU young authors. Each book that comes out, she collects it, she buys it. So Grace, thank you so much. You are a wonderful supporter of this program. And yes, despite the fact that your position is threatened, it's taken over. Your record of having 2 young authors at home, it's broken. And we're going to have that conversation much later. And Nonzaba says, hi, Ali, I would like to know if you have been exposed to easy equities. If not, I will also encourage your parents to introduce you to the app. It's more of broker. It's more of broker for Johannesburg Stock Exchange for dealing with equities and stock in JSE. So thank you so much for putting that in, Nonzaba. I think the parents have taken note of this. And if Alice is interested, and I can see by the look on her face that she's already going for it. Thank you so much for putting that in. Grace says, none of them asked me. So you people who broke the record, you did not ask my smart mom about breaking the record. So she's going to do like Donald Trump and she'll not concede. So let's go back to Ali. Ali, so how come when your father buys a car, the first thing is not being happy about the car, you asked the question about the financing of the car. Where does that come from?
I remember when I was reading one of the finance books that I spoke about that I like to read. I read that you could, when you buy a car, it's more of a liability than an asset. And a liability is something that will be costing to you, and an asset is something that helps you make more money. So when you buy a car on loan or something, a lot of the time there is interest rate on it, and interest makes you pay a little bit towards the car and also extra payment for interest. So I was saying that if my dad was paying slowly, then he would be paying for a lot more than he thought he was. He would be paying for more than one car, which was kind of impractical. So it wasn't that I was car. I just felt like I didn't want him to make a bad financial decision.
Ali, right now there's something going on in my mind. You and we have to work out a workshop for you, because that book has to become a handbook that we use to train kids and adults on financial management. So after the book launch, you and I still have to sit down and design a program. And a program besides the book, because listening to you, all of this knowledge is not in the book. And I think if you develop a program that a teaching program that you can use to help other people, first of all, it will help people. Secondly, it will be effortless for you because you have it. And thirdly, it will add to your income stream. And who doesn't want to earn income? So I think that's something that I like for us to look into after the book launch. I'm really, you're giving me so much more than it's in the book, and we may be doing another book again. So the app, do you know the app, the Easy Equity app? Have you heard about it before?
No, actually. No, I haven't heard of that before. Thank you.
So I guess that's something that you once you get off the book launch, you're gonna grab that one and learn what is all in there and how you can use it probably for your next book, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ali, after having published your first book, you have it in your hands. Now you are a GloBUNTU Young Author. Now you realize in the book launch that you still have so lot of information. What is next? What is next after this book for you?
I don't want to just write one book. I still want to write more books. So I'm definitely going to write another book after this.
Okay. And Mom is sitting there. What goes on in your mind when you hear that, Mom?
Ka-ching, ka-ching. Okay. On a serious note, I'm content because, you know, most parents, most moms, they worry whether my child is going to get a job after graduating, whether I can afford university. I'm sitting here, even though I know that Alizulu is a very smart child, she'll probably pass her degree with honors, and anyone would like to have her as an employee. But I am thinking bigger. I'm thinking if she's able to write books and have multiple sources of income, she can even teach other children how to do the same. So right there, there's a business. And I was hearing you talking about designing a program. She could be speaking to other young children in schools. She can get paid as a public speaker on the subject or any other subject for that matter. So for me, in general, I'm very content and I'm not worried about her not getting a job, because in South Africa, let's face it, there's a huge crisis of joblessness. And for me right now, hearing her speak, I'm so secured. I'm not worried anymore about what's going to happen when she passes matric. Is she going to get a job? Even though we've always made provisions for our children to go to university one day, the sky is a limit. She can go to university or she can do lots of other things. I don't want to sound like I'm not rooting for university. University is an amazing thing. I went there myself. That's where I met my husband. So it's amazing. But it's not the all and all. It's not the only way you can make a living. So to parents out there, even those who cannot afford to send their children to prestigious universities, there are options for children And at any age, you can start thinking about getting a source of income and use what you have. Alizuri has a very brilliant mind, and other children have brilliant minds, but they've got other talents, singing, they've got artsy hands, they can paint. So when you see your child painting or drawing things on the paper and you're like, wow, that's amazing. Don't say that's amazing, and then after that you take a paper and throw it in the bin. Frame those drawings, put them up, collect them, and go to a market and bring the child and show them what you drew. Somebody likes it and they paid for it. And before you know it, the child is a world famous artist because you believed in the child. For me, I think Alizuri became the way she is, even though there was that what you call a dormant brilliance sitting within her. My husband and I brought it up by believing in her, by telling her you are great, you can do this, and then not only believing in her, showing that we believe in her. Because when daddies pump the money into their writing program, another person could say, oh yeah, this child is good, and then they forget about it. I think my video is frozen for some reason. Oh, okay, there we go. So yeah, in a nutshell, I'm very content and I'm very excited for her. I'm excited for us as a family, and her sister is watching as well.
Yeah, she has two sisters who are also who graduated from the GloBUNTU Masterclass with two books that we're going to launch this week. We have another book launch, the next book launch on Wednesday. It's going to be the eldest of the Chikozi girls. And on Saturday next week, around this time, we will be launching the book of that little princess sitting right there. That is Naledi. And we will be talking about Naledi's Nana's Kitchen Adventures. You don't want to miss out on any one of those two book launches. So back to our young author, and you said something that is very important, sis. We as parents, we have the responsibility to not just identify talent in our children, but to support and to promote that talent as best as we can. You see, I came up with a GloBUNTU Masterclass for young writers in April 2019. And up until now, I tell you, we have graduated 14 young authors. And getting someone, a kid, to write a book is a lifelong legacy that opens so many doors for them, more than we can even imagine at a time when we're doing it. And I think the little investment that parents have to put in, quite often when we're tied, with our finances, especially now with the COVID, we tend to prioritize other things. But hey, the money that we use to buy our weaves, that we used to go to the salon to do our nails and all those things, if you put in a little bit just to get the child to write a book and publish, being an author, it's something that comes with a whole lot of possibilities. And if you want to know about that, I invite you to check our website, www.globuntubooks.com. You see the master classes that are ongoing. You see where you can register your child if you want to join. And my personal mission and vision is to graduate as many young authors as possible. And again, GloBUNTU book launches are the places where we get wisdom, where we listen to our children, where we learn from our children, but also places where you get advice. If you're looking out for information, you're looking out for a piece of advice on the topic of the book that we're launching, it's the perfect place for you to sit back, listen to information, but also to connect to our young author, connect to our author's parents, connect to GloBUNTU Books, and let's build an empire together by promoting our children. So that said, I want to go back to our young author. So young author, what is on your mind that you like to share with your audience? You like to share with anyone who is watching us right now?
What is on my mind?
Okay. While you're thinking, Nonzaba just wrote the details for anyone who wants to purchase your book. Please don't put on contact numbers on social media. We don't promote that. But you can put in the social media handle so people can go there. And of course, the banking details is there. If you want to get a book, you make sure that you contact the family and you can get your copy of the books from Cape Town. So, he or she ended by saying, the future belongs to those who prepare for it. And that's a quote from Malcolm X. We agree very much with you. Chihuahua says, I am the other sister. Oh, the other sister. I greet you, sister. That's nice. And Chikozi Mpo says, proud of my girls. And hi, thank you. Okay. So the family is on. Ali, we still got a couple of minutes to go. And I want to hear from you. What are the things that you are homeschooled. From which age were you or did you start homeschooling?
Oh, I started homeschooling when I was 11. So after grade 4, I went to homeschooling.
So now, if you were to compare the experience from the conventional school with the experience with homeschooling, what will you say is the key difference?
Well, when I was at school, I felt like I had a safety net because most people in the world, when they're saying that they're getting an education, they're all going to like one certain school system and everybody's in school. And it feels like everybody's doing the same thing. And if I fail, we all fail together type of thing. But then when I got into homeschooling, I felt like it was like, okay, so you can't really rely on a teacher and say, oh yeah, well, the teacher didn't teach me this. It was more of a, okay, your future is in your hands now. You've got to prepare for it type of thing. And that made me really, really nervous.
Mm-hmm. You know, when you speak and I listen to you, I listen to your vocabulary, I listen to your choice of words, I listen to the sound of your voice, and I'm still thinking, is there not a mistake here? Yes, she looks 13. Yes, she may be 13, but she's speaking like 31. Because your words, you know, you're speaking about liabilities, you're talking about assets, you're talking about safety nets. And I want to see how many 13 years old, you know, are talking about those things, especially now. So again, I just want to tell you how proud we are of you. And it's also a testimonial for homeschooling, you know. I think during the pandemic, many parents had to switch, or many parents were forced compared to go homeschooling. I don't know how much they're succeeding, how many challenges they may have, but your dad is sitting right next to you. And I want to hear from him that the decision to homeschool your girls, where did it come light, and what does it mean to be a homeschooling parent?
The decision, actually, it was easy. Let me say it was easy as a family to decide on homeschooling. But the one who made the final push, it's my wife, Stembile. She's the one who said, oh, let's go for it. We've been doing this. And I was shocked, because I never thought we would take that decision, like just take the plunge. But I would advise that as parents, we cannot entrust our future or the future for our children to the schooling systems. We can see that the schooling system takes about 1 million kids, and the kids who finish matric are about maybe 300 or 400,000. And how many of those manage to go to the university? And being a person who was exposed, who have worked at the university, and I've studied also at the university, I've seen that most of the kids, they do courses which should be obsolete or they should be redundant, but because they still have, they take a lot of kids. So that's why we've got a lot of jobless graduates. So I think we must take our responsibility of teaching our children. We can't leave it to public schooling. We can't leave it to the private schooling. As parents, we should be the primary teachers of our kids. And that's how it should be. But if you trust the public schooling, you trust it at your peril.
Those are powerful words. And I think trusting the public school doesn't mean that you give away your responsibility. Because I think schooling is done at school, it's done at home. And the kind of learning that you do at home is complementary to what you learn at school. So I certainly commend and salute you for the courage to school your girls at home. And when I listen to Ali, I hear something very powerful that I hope is inspirational and encouraging for some parents who may be thinking about the decision as to whether to homeschool their children or not. And talking about that, we are not going to dwell on homeschooling because we have another book. We have another book on homeschooling. So in the house of the Chikosis, you can be bored. They're either talking about finances, they're talking about homeschooling, or they're talking about kitchen adventures. You can be bored in that house. And at GloBUNTU Books, we're extremely proud and blessed and happy to work with you to bring out these young authors. And we're looking forward to the next book launches. Right now, someone on Facebook just posted, this is Lukeka. He said, congratulations to the parents for homeschooling their queens. Congratulations to the queen authors. We have bought all books. I can't wait to read them. Please go read them, because buying is the first step. The second step is reading, and the third step, which must logically follow, is writing your own book. And that's what we support at GloBUNTU Books. We believe that everyone has a story, and the way you tell your story determines how people perceive you. The way people perceive you determines what you get, and what you get becomes your reality. So if you really want to become the master of your life, the best way to do is to write your book. It doesn't matter what age you are. Some books take long, but if you have challenges writing your book, the best place to go is come to GloBUNTU Books, and we will get you set up to write your book. So that said, I want to go back to my young author again. We are coming closely to the end of our book launch. Ali, if you were to speak to children your age, if you were to speak to them about how to plan their lives, about their lifestyle, the lifestyle that they should look forward to, or they should aspire to, what will you tell them in a nutshell?
I would ask them to aspire to be happy and go after their dreams and stuff like that. But I would also aspire them to, I would also hope that they would make sure that when they are attaining their dreams and when they're going to look forward to going and chasing their dreams, that they take care of themselves. They make sure that they're still okay, because it's really easy to go ahead and grinding, but not taking care of yourself. And soon your grinding gears will get blunt and you'll be able to grind no more. So,
wow. Okay. Even adults can use that advice. And if you were to speak to parents, if you were to speak to some parents out there, you get a lot of support from your parents, and in terms of homeschooling, but also in writing your book and becoming a young author, and I guess in a lot of dimensions. You do the things in your home that quite a lot of kids don't get the chance to do. If you were to speak to parents, what would you tell them?
I mean, I would ask parents to be as supportive as they can be when it comes to children, because even though we might seem mature and like we can handle it all, I feel like we still need their support and stuff like that. And I'd also ask that they listen to their children, because yes, it's easy to think that, oh yeah, I'm the parent, I know best. But sometimes children can have some meaningful input, and remember that it is their lives. You should go ahead and support them so that they can become successful children that you can be proud of.
Parents out there, I'm sure you got the message. It's coming straight from the heart. It's not prepared. It's coming straight from the heart. That's as authentic as it can be. Please support your children, because our responsibility as parents is not for our children to live our dreams. It is for us to support them to have their own dreams and to live these dreams. It's for us to support them to be the best that they can be. It comes from our young author. Now, I can have this conversation with you for the whole night and the whole week. But I know that you and I will be talking again, because we've got a program to design, and I'm really, really excited after this book launch. Looking forward to designing that program with you. Now, let me go to your mom, the mom of the young author. Your closing word. In our African culture, we don't call you by your name; they call you by the name of your child, right? So when I'm saying the mom of the young author, It means the mom of Ali. So your closing word, to a piece of advice to children, but also to fellow parents out there, but also your last word, in the course of this book launch. What is on your mind? What would you like to share?
What I would like to share is I'm just grateful, and I will say the same thing that I opened with. I'm very grateful for all the supports, and I will ask for more supports. I know that sounds a little bit greedy, but sooner or later the hype is gonna die down, and I would like you guys to share the book. Once you've read the book, please post a picture of it on Facebook and tag us and say, please contact these people and buy yourself a copy. It will mean a lot, and also it will mean that we need to change this thing of authors dying broke. Because I mean, growing up, I never thought being an author could be, a career where you write and you make a living out of it. And it is true, you can make a good living. Well, you won't be rich, at least not overnight. It takes time, but without people supporting and sharing, and yes, if you borrow a friend, that's fine, but it's nice if you write about it on Facebook, on Instagram, or any in church, wherever you meet people. Just talk about the book and what you thought, and if you have any insights on what you read about, tell us about it. And I would say to the parents out there, support the children, believe in them, and show that you believe in them by acting, whether sending them on a course or actually giving them a kickstart. So those are my closing words.
Okay. Let's go to that. We'll close with Ali. Let's go to that. So yes, I see he's smiling. He's smiling because he's surrounded by these achieving queens. So if you were to say a word, to people out there, what would be your advice? And again, I would like to also ask, what was your experience with the GloBUNTU Masterclass? What was the experience having the kids in the GloBUNTU Masterclass?
Oh, we really enjoyed it. We felt we have never met you in person, but we know you better, and we could connect with you very well. And you have become part of our family. I mean, GloBUNTU has become part of our family. So there is one of the best decisions that we've made was to invest our kids in the GloBUNTU.
Hello. Hi, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm so sorry.
Yes, and we're almost closing now. So yeah. we had that speaking. Let's hear him first, please.
Sure.
Yes. So I was saying, what I would advise parents is our children, our greatest legacy. If we really care about the future of our people, or you concern about the well-being of Africa as a whole, African people, we have to invest in the development of our children. Not only as experts, we don't have to show that we are expert in everything. We just have to be there to support our children, and also not just to talk to them, but to talk with them. In other words, as parents, we must learn to listen. At times, it's part of our homeschooling program. We put all the learning material aside, and I just listen to my children. Each one individually, they will speak their mind. I listen to what they're saying, what they suggest, what are their challenges, because children are human beings with a young experience, but they are human beings. They might not be matured, but they have got interests, they've got difficulties, their own small problems. So we need to be there and support our children.
Thank you so much. Those were very powerful words, and I think some parents who are out there, they will definitely be grateful to hear that. And so we have a studio guest. Sometimes, doing things virtually these days is really rough. Sometimes the network doesn't work for you. Sometimes, there's so many things that go wrong that you can't come on. But our studio guest, she actually made it. She actually made it, even though we're almost at the end. But we're so happy that you could make it in spite of whatever challenge held you back. And
Thank you.
I would just welcome you. And will you kindly introduce yourself and tell us how you relate to Ali's book and yeah, how you relate to Ali's book.
Great. Okay. My name is Chido Ninguke, and very close friends with Ali's mom, Stembile, and with the family. I mean, they're growing. It's just great to see a family that works together in order to empower their daughters. And this is coming from a mother of 3 daughters myself, and as a businesswoman myself, and just seeing young girls, young African girls, being able to be empowered in the way that these girls are empowered, just it does a lot to me. And to see them go through making their own moves and becoming authors and writing about their journeys and all of that is just really good to see. So I'm so grateful to be here. I'm glad to be able to. I love the books, and I'm going to be sharing them with everyone. So I love it. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you too. Thank you too. So you must strive to break the record. Now you have 3 daughters. Strive to break the record. So Cape Town must hide.
Well, we'll have to wait another 5 years. You must make another child.
So I'll go back to our young author, but I wanted to pick up something that you said, my sister. We have 12 young authors at GloBUNTU Books. And our wish is that we support these young authors, that we support the young authors. We wish that people will buy their books and support them. It's Christmas time again. Please, if you can, share knowledge, support the children. Pick one of the children's books or pick as many as you can. We have our shop, the GloBUNTU Books shop is open, it's brand new. We have sales going on. So you will enjoy some discounts when you go to our GloBUNTU Books website. We have master classes for young writers. We have other materials. We have learning materials for homeschools. If you are looking out for content, that is the space to go to. And when you buy the books of our young authors, you are setting them up. You are not just acknowledging them, but you are making them to understand that it was right to write the book, and you are encouraging them to write more. The first young author is already writing her second book. And I see those girls, the Chikosi girls, also writing more books, becoming serial authors. And in order to do that, you need an audience that supports you, and support means buying. It's sharing, it's talking about it, just like Mom said. It's also, and most importantly, it is buying, because that is what it's all about. So when you buy, you're not just supporting the young kids, you're getting knowledge. It's not like you're giving them your money. It's an exchange of knowledge for your money. So again, we encourage you to support our young authors straight through their parents, or go on the GloBUNTU Books website, and you'll find a lot of kids' books in there. Now, I'll go back to Ali for some more wisdom before we close. Are you going to be part of the Abantu Book Festival? So I would love to know more. I don't know about that. Please, if you can share information, we would definitely appreciate very much. And the Chikosi girls, they definitely have to be there with the books. GloBUNTU Books would love to be there as well. So that would be great to have more information. Now, Ali.
Yes.
You've been sharing a lot of nuggets. You have been sharing a lot of wisdom. You've been sharing, I'm your publisher. I had you in the master class, but you keep surprising me, and I'm not surprised, even though you surprised me. So in this room, you have some adults, and on Facebook, you have other adults, and I believe that on the other social media platforms, YouTube, you have some adults as well. So let's take it again. In a nutshell, if you had a chance to speak to the president of South Africa right now, what will you tell him?
Wow. If I chance to speak to the president of South Africa, what would I say?
Or let's put it the other way. If you were the president of South Africa for 3 days, what are the 3 most important projects that you will implement?
I'd implement more institutions for reading, so people can read more, and also more institutions so that children can explore their own talents, like more arts institutions and stuff like that, or dance, or even making stuff with your hands, stuff like that. Definitely.
Okay, and if you were to meet the president right now, what would you tell him?
Okay, then I'd ask him to create more institutions for reading.
Great. I hope that he will hear that one day, and I hope that you meet him one day personally, and then that you're able to tell him right that. So we'll go to our guest, Chido. We are about to close. Chimangi, I see your book launch is coming on Wednesday, and I can't wait to have you in as well. I see how impatient you are, but your turn is coming. Let's go to Chido. Chido, is there any other thing that you'd like to share? We don't want to overextend the launch session, but is there any other thing that you'd like to share with us, from your background and from your knowledge of the family and having bought the books as well?
Okay. Yeah, I would say that one other thing that I would say is that books, they change people's lives. They change people's perceptions. And when we can hear from the younger generation, we are then in a position to actually see the way forward, what the future is looking like. So, and content is everything, which is why I think it's amazing what you guys are doing. Is amazing to give these children a platform to actually sell their books and all of that. I think that's amazing, because with stories, that's how we change people's lives.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. So, Chimangi, did you want to say something? I see you looking like you want to say something.
I was just asking, is my live going to be in the afternoon like this time?
It's the same time, from 5 to 6 p.m. on Wednesday. And tell Nana to get ready for Saturday, 5 to 6 p.m. Nana is going to be on with her book. Okay. So people, again, thank you so very much. Parents, congratulations for your courage. Congratulations for your ability to support your kids. Thank you for having entrusted them into my hands. It was a real pleasure to mentor them through their writing process and to have their book published. Now, you public, it's in your hands to buy those books and to let all of us know that it was the right decision to make, but also to uplift our children and to help us create a lifelong legacy, because we can write all the books. I have 22. Sometimes you can go for 6 months without selling a book. That's the truth. But we don't want our children to wait that long before they sell their books. So we really, really encourage you to encourage our children and go on our website, www.globuntubooks.com, or contact the parents straight on Facebook and make sure that you get your copies of the books. So that said, we have come to the end of this book launch, our first November book launch. I want to congratulate our young author, Ali, heartily, and tell you, you rock, you are amazing, you are fantastic, you are phenomenal, you are incredible, and you are just the best financial advisor that I know. And I wish you that you keep on being striving to be the best, striving to get to be your next masterpiece every day when you wake up, because again, it is your life. And I'm very happy for you that you have the parents that you have that are supportive. And I hope that someone took something away from today that will help them be able to support their children in a similar way. You don't have to do the same thing that they're doing, but in the scope, in your own scope, in your own way. As long as you're supporting your children, that's what we're talking about. So that is it for today, and I'll see all of you again in the next book launch on Wednesday. It's going to be from the Chikosi's house again. At the whole week, the whole month of November is the month, and they are amazing us and surprising us, and we are celebrating with them. So please have a beautiful evening out there. And those of you on Facebook, please like our page and keep on sharing the information. Make sure that you share the video with whoever is here, because it can really change a child's life forever by just watching some of these videos. And make sure you join us in the next book launch. The next book from Chikosi's house is going to be about homeschooling, and I think homeschooling is what we're all into these days. If you want to know more, tune in on Wednesday at the same time from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. talking about homeschooling. So thank you very much. Greetings to you to Cape Town. Have a restful evening and enjoy your young authors.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.